everyone. It is Evan here from the Trade Risk on Wednesday, August 29th. We are intraday right now, and this is our weekly trade ideas video where I bring about a half a dozen or so names for your watch list, things that I'm paying attention to that you may find interesting. We like to look for names that are holding up well, strong relative strength, outperforming the market, and are still actionable. And that last part is pretty tricky right now because the market has been running away to the upside. So we have lots of extended stocks out there. So you do want to do your homework and just make sure you're buying at some prudent places and you're not chasing too far. And hopefully some of these names that I'm going to show you here today are still kind of setting up and actionable. So as always, we have half of these names. We got 3 names from my watch list, 3 names from our partners over at Investors Business Daily. You can get access to their stock lists in the description of this video. There's a link to the lists for their services. So let us jump into the first idea here. It is MRO. This is an energy play here, and you can see it's not quite fully lifted out of this consolidation, but this is the consolidation that I've been paying attention to since May. Marathon Oil has been moving sideways here. The weekly chart, I think, shows the cleaner kind of picture that this is building out. Just nice and tight, consolidating just under its year-to-date highs, multi-year highs here. So if we drew kind of resistance up here, a little bit of a slope to that, right in here, a little bit of essentially a flag here on this longer time frame, and you can see based on the past 2 weeks now, we're starting to lift back up, making an attempt to clear out of this recent consolidation. So it probably needs a little bit more legwork here to get through this, but a nice session today, up 5.5%. So something to pay attention to and potentially a longer term hold there for MRO. Next up, we have VKTX, which is a really the whole other spectrum here. This is a very small cap, under $1 billion biotech company. So this is for you adrenaline chasers out there. VKTX has been a strong performer for the past 2 years here. It's traded from $1 all the way up to $11. So we've seen a tremendous percentage increase. And just recently in June, this had this big surge here, really from posting most of these gains from $5 all the way up to that $13 mark. It's pulled back, it's consolidated, and now you can see a little bit of volume coming in last week, and it is starting to lift up through this consolidation here. So we got a good fade off of the highs of the session today, but still a name that I think is interesting, especially again, if you're looking for that high beta play here. The longer it can stay above this 11.25 level and hold this recent breakout, the more sort of constructive this chart looks to me. So VKTX, take a look at it. We got the old highs here from June, around $13, $14. That is where I would be looking for this to retest if this can hold this $11 area. Next up, we have APH. So APH kind of middle of the road here now. Based on those 2 names. This might have been a trade idea from last week, and I think if it was, we're pointing out this flag here, this consolidation under its prior highs here. So we had essentially a base breakout, a multi-month breakout that took place just at the beginning of August, actually late July, early August, above this $93 level. It then went sideways. It's been consolidating for a few weeks, and now you can see with lots of volume coming in recently here, we can see that it is trying to make an attempt to get back up to these old highs here. So APH, I like these smaller bases on top of a larger base breakout. So I'd be paying attention to this one. Nice performance here today and very quickly getting back to those prior highs. So those are the 3 from my list here. We're going to look at 3 more now from Investors Business Daily's list. MEDP, this is the first here on their stock list. And again, you can see not so extended. That's the goal of bringing you some of these setups, but it is on the move here today. Good volume coming through. This had a big gap up at the beginning of the month of August. Actually, again, late July, 731. It was up 31%. And then since it has consolidated and pulled back a bit over the next month or so of trading, and now it is starting to lift back higher again. Good volume coming in. So MEDP, a little bit of a chase. It's certainly extended here, but we got that good news that maybe is not fully priced in. So MEDP could have a little bit more to run. Next up, we have RP. So RP here, real page, again from IBD's list, you can see weekly chart kind of paints the picture a little more cleanly. You have this nice clean resistance here coming in right around $61 to $62. And if we kind of go back to this daily chart now, you can see it is trying to poke its head above this general area here today. Not a ton of volume coming in, but we get a leading sort of momentum MACD indicator there. So that is constructive. And really, I'd just be looking for this to get a strong close and start clearing above all of these prior peaks in here. So above $61.50, above $62, and this could start to work. This is a longer term base breakout potentially at hand, so you could look at that for a slightly longer term hold. Finally, last we're going to talk about here is CARG, and this one here clearly is not extended. This is one that is still setting up. There's what I would consider no trigger, no trade when looking at a name like this, but what I like about it is it's gone on this very quick run to the upside, really since June here all the way up to just a few weeks ago. It's had an 80% run, so quite an impressive move here, almost doubling in just a couple of months. And since peaking out just a few weeks ago, it is already pulled back about 12% or so, doing it pretty methodically too, very kind of slow, just kind of slow selling here down, not some panic exit everything type of move with very high volume and large range bars. It's very kind of narrow ranged, and I like that. Looks like it's pretty orderly here. So for me, I would just be looking at these recent highs here, call it $51, $52. If we can start 51 and change, maybe if we can start to break above these highs here, and maybe that means we still need to move sideways for another week or two, but CARG, it's got a lot of momentum, a lot of trend in our favor here over the past couple of months, so it is one that I think is worth watching. So that is it. We got 6 names here. Again, do your homework on all of these names, of course. Make sure they fit your strategy, time frame, and execution style, but hopefully those are helpful. So as always, thanks so much for tuning in and watching. We'll be back on Friday with the weekend market recap video.